Budge-free concealer. Does it exist, or will it always crease? I'm going to try a technique for under eye concealer application. Under eye concealer is always a liquid, it's never in a pot, because that's more for skin, it's oil based. With a brush, with setting spray and translucent powder. First things first is the prep. Under eye cream. This is Crease Radiant Eye Cream. Using my ring finger and just gently taking it underneath the eye and passing it in, lifting away from the face. I actually, if I've got any left over, pop it on between my eyes, on my eyelids, and between my brows as well. But just gently with the ring finger out away, and I'm going to let that sink in for a few seconds. Once the eye cream's sunken in a little bit, I'm going to use my Urban Decay All Nighter Long Lasting Setting Spray. Now, this is a very old setting spray. I actually never ever use setting spray, but I had this in my drawer. I thought, let's give this technique a try. I'm popping it onto a dry brush, and then I'm just touching underneath where I want my concealer to sit with a little bit of that setting spray in the upper inner corner as well. This is the cave, I call it, and a lot of people avoid that area, but they really should make sure to put concealer up in there as well. So patting that setting spray, letting it dry off. Now I'm going to go in with my concealer. Mine's my Vive Modern Radiance. I'm going to pop some on the back of my hand so I'm not taking too much product, then dipping the same brush into that product and gently working it on top of that setting spray. And remember the back cave up in here, make sure that gets plenty of concealer, because actually that will be your darkest area. I see people swiping back and forth underneath this triangle down here. No, that's only going to be where there's the most creasing happening, can you see? Whereas there's so much less creasing in this inner eye, and it's where the darkness tends to be. So I'm gently just patting that underneath, and then any excess pulling down. So I'm not putting on any more product that I've already put on. I'm just using the stuff I've already got on my brush. There's plenty on there. This is a very pigmented concealer. You hardly need anything. If I do have any left over, I'll take it onto my lids as well. And just buffing that in until there's almost like nothing left on the brush. There'll be nothing left there because you've just worked it all completely in a very fine layer. Then I'm going to go in with another spritz, very fine spritzing of setting spray, any setting spray. So the setting spray is dried in. I'm going to set it off now with some translucent powder from AU, using the same brush, tapping off any excess and just placing on top of the areas that will crease. This is hardly any setting powder at all. Just very lightly touching it over, not forgetting that inner eye and a bit onto the lid. And I'd like to think that concealer will not budge, but I'm also realistic. Eyes do move, you do have expression. Liquid is going to sit into the creases, but this will give you the best start you possibly can.